In a world plagued by a merciless disease, crematoriums had become the epicenter of a grim battle. The death toll was staggering, and as the virus spread relentlessly, cremation became both a solution and a source of horror. The epidemic was unrelenting, leaving a trail of death in its wake. Science struggled to devise a remedy, but the virus was undaunted. An epidemic had been declared, and nations worldwide scrambled to contain the outbreak. Cremation became a chilling necessity. Only the bodies of the COVID-19 victims were cremated for free, incinerated to halt the virus's spread. Rigorous measures were enacted to ensure the disease didn't leap from the deceased to the living. The entire process was macabre, a somber dance of containment and prevention. Roderick, a somber man with a grim task, was tasked with ushering the bodies into the crematorium. Clad in protective gear from head to toe, he performed his duty with a detached professionalism. Each body was placed within the fiery chamber, the heat intended to render the virus powerless. Beside him was Alvin, a young man with eyes that bore the weight of sorrow. His heart ached for the grieving relatives who couldn't say proper goodbyes. But despite the somber task at hand, Alvin's sadness was tinged with apprehension. On one fateful day, the crematorium received 5 bodies, all COVID-19 victims. Roderick and Alvin prepared for their duty, the heavy weight of their responsibility hanging in the air. The bodies were placed one by one into the blazing chamber, the roar of the flames overpowering the silence. As the process progressed, something shifted. Roderick sensed movement within the furnace, a gnawing feeling that something wasn't right. His hands trembled as he pressed the start button, and then the unthinkable happened. The furnace roared to life, consuming everything within it. Panic gripped Roderick and Alvin as the crematorium turned into a maelstrom of fire and screams. The machinery had been set into motion, and they were trapped with the inferno. The two men's cries of terror echoed within the chamber, a haunting symphony of desperation. "Go get the ash," Alvin ordered, his voice shaking with fear. "I don't want to," Roderick protested, his voice quivering. But they had no choice. Their lives depended on retrieving the ash from the final cremation. Trembling, they approached the fiery pit, their eyes filled with terror. Amidst the chaos, Alvin heard a voice, a chilling whisper that cut through the cacophony. "You killed me! You killed me!" His heart raced as he clung to the task at hand, collecting the ash of the final body. The voice grew louder, a chorus of accusation that filled the chamber. "We didn't mean to! Forgive us!" Alvin shouted back, his voice quivering with desperation. As Alvin approached, the ash seemed to come alive, swirling with malevolence. Suddenly the ash lunged, a cloud of darkness enveloping Alvin. His scream pierced the chaos, his body convulsing as he fought against an unseen force. Roderick backed away, terror gripping him. Alvin's cry of pain and fear echoed within the chamber, leaving a chilling silence in its wake. The ash returned to its inert state, but the horror was far from over. Alvin emerged from the ashes, his eyes wide with terror, his body now host to something otherworldly. "You killed me," he hissed, his voice a sinister mockery of his former self. As Alvin approached Roderick, terror turned his limbs to stone. The chamber became a battleground of darkness and despair. "I had a bad dream," Alvin said with a voice that was no longer his own. "A bad dream about our last cremate. He said he'll replace us." Roderick's mind raced as he faced a terror he couldn't comprehend. "We can't do anything," he whispered, his voice heavy with defeat. "We don't know what will happen." In the fiery abyss of the crematorium, the veil between life and death had been torn. The echoes of the past clung to the ashes, and the curse of the cremation would forever haunt the souls who had been thrust into its inferno.